Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Talks with Taeler Hendrix podcast. This week, I'm excited to sit down and catch up with during quarantine. She is a fellow professional wrestler. She is a social media influencer, a content creator. She is a valet. She is your favorite Latina badass at Major League Wrestling in Florida. Please join me in welcoming Selena De La Renta. Hello, girl. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm sorry about all of the technical difficulties we were having. I guess that's just quarantine life right now.
It's fine. It is what it is.
So you were telling me that you are going to school and it's kind of, changed up a little bit since quarantine, and you started a website and you're going to school online as well and making money at home. I've seen you have calendars, 8x10s. So what exactly is going on in the world of Selena De La Renta right now?
Well, there's really like everything stopped because I was going to Miami every week and doing a Spanish commentary for MLW, and I was also doing full-time school. And sometimes like I would travel depending if I had any shows. So like, on the weekends. So I would really have no time off whatsoever. Like I would be in my house maybe 2 days a week and like a few hours, and then would be in another state in a few hours. So like all of a sudden my world stopped, and now I'm just stuck in my house, and I don't I can't even like complain about it. Like it's like only happening to me because it's like everybody is in the same.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, my life. It's like, oh, the world. So it's one of those things that I don't, I can't even explain. So, but right now, like I wake up and the first thing I do is like get online and try to meet different people, like companies to do advertising with, like exchange, um like what do you call it, like collab.
hmm
So I find like different companies to work with every day, and I'm like constantly trying to find like what else can I do from home. And I started working on my personal training certification.
Oh, congrats.
And
That's cool.
yeah, thank you. So I'm just really just finding anything to get busy working out at home. you know I'm building like my own studio. So I
Ooh.
yeah, I decided to start my own little project. I was like, if I'm stuck here, might as well. So I have boxes coming in every single day, and different, like, so I've been working on new merch as well. So I have like a new shipments, and it's like industrial boxes coming into my apartment, and everybody's like, "The what is she doing?"
I can just imagine, like, with masks and gloves on, they're like, what is she doing?
And I know what people like, how people look at my stuff because I have a camera. I have a ring doorbell. So I've seen people like stop, and I even have signs that say I have audio and visual, and you see them reading, and it's funny.
Oh man, it's like your own little entertainment reality show. That's
Hmm.
hilarious.
Yeah.
You are always up to something. I love it. I know we were just talking about. I love seeing kind of your journey from when you started wrestling to when you were kind of sort of just figuring out who you were with the whole Spoiled Brats tag team, and seeing you today. I think it's awesome. You have really just taken yourself from one platform and really kind of revolutionized yourself into something completely different. And I love that kind of stuff. It's kind of like my favorite about wrestling is that whole journey from one character to making another one that fans can really buy into. So can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about what that was like? Because I think fans, they always want to kind of like get to hear from a wrestler's perspective, like what influences went into the character that you're playing, how much of it
Right.
is you, how much input do you have in it, where did it come from, why? They like to hear those things. So let's talk a little bit about it.
Okay, so the crazy thing about me is that I have a resting bitch face, but I've always been I've always been the group clown. So it's like it doesn't match my personality to my face. And like I feel like ever since I was little, everybody thought it was so funny. And like I thought that the at first in wrestling everybody was gonna love like the whole I look mean, but I'm funny. I'm a funny character. All I do is like jump up and hit people with my butt and call myself the booty monster. And I thought that was hilarious. but I guess it wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't like everybody else didn't really think it was as cool as I thought it was. And I had an incident. Well, you mentioned the spoiled brat, so let me try and like go in order. After doing like the booty monster for a while, I remember that Arya and I were put together, and we weren't even like planning on being a tag team. We just like, oh, we need two girls to have a match, so you two and against you two and whatever, have a match. And I remember Arya was like, oh, what do you want to wear? And I was like, I don't know. We're not even like a real team, but okay, let's wear like I don't know. What do you have? And she started showing me her stuff, and then we actually had a lot of stuff that was like almost identical. It looked like we were meant to be put together. And I was like, okay, well then we can wear the Pokemon ones. And we went into the ring, and it was so funny. Like I remember just having a great time. Like the whole match was, she would do something real bitchy and say like a really bitchy comment after, and then I would just say something even worse, and it was just popping each other, and it was good chemistry. And everybody was like, you guys should really tag. So started doing the spoiled brats, started getting booked, and I started like reaching out to a bunch of companies because like I wasn't making like that much money, and when you start in wrestling, it's like
Yeah.
terrible. But I wanted to like get more experience and be worth more, so people would book me. And I started reaching out to different companies, and what I did was like write down on Facebook. So I would do Alabama wrestling, and a bunch of companies would pop out, and then I was like reaching out to every single one of them. And then like I did the same thing in like Georgia, and I went like doing that with everyone, every single state. And then I started getting bookings, like like a lot of them, and I was like, hell yeah! Started traveling, started getting a little more popular, and then my leg snapped like 5 different times, and I had this
Oh,
terrible, yeah, injury. So that's when MLW, I met, well, I didn't meet MLW then because I knew Mr. Saint Laurent, who's the vice president for MLW from since I started in wrestling. It's just that MLW wasn't a thing.
yeah.
And it just so happened that when MLW was starting, I just had gotten surgery and they needed a manager. And they're like, "Oh, you're really good on camera." And they're like, "But can you walk?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I can walk." And I was literally like, I had a cane to try and like not show that I was like limping. It was so bad. It was so hard to even walk. But I wanted to do it, and they put me on camera, and they asked me to wear a business suit, and I was like, "What? What the hell? I don't, that doesn't really feel like me." Like you see what I do, like whatever, I'll do it. I wore the business suit, and I wore it in my glasses and everything, and I went all out because I mean, it was a TV opportunity, so I had to go all out. And I really was like had no money, so like how was I even gonna get a business suit that was like good enough to look like I am a businesswoman? So I got a credit card and paid for $800 for a suit. And yeah, I know I'm way too much. I'm so I'm telling you, I'm a method actor. Like I feel like I need everything to feel like the character, but it did it what I wanted it to, because the minute I put on the suit, it was like, this is fitting. Like
You fit the character. You felt
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It I turned into this. I was like, okay, now I like this power. Like, I feel it. And there was really no power. It was just a suit. And so I went into MLW doing a bunch of promos. And at first, like, they weren't really convinced that I was good for that. And I saw an opportunity when they were like, oh, you're in charge. You're gonna manage Penta and Phoenix. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I'm managing the Lucha Bros. This is cool. So I have to really go all out. And instead of just performing well, which is like what everybody can do, I started helping behind the scenes as well. And I was like, Penta, if you need anything, Phoenix, if you need anything. And they needed a lot of translation. So that's when I started becoming more useful. And I was like, all right, what else do you need me to do? I'll do it. What else? What else? What else? And people would see me behind the scenes, like doing that much work, that everybody started just treating me like I was in charge. And the respect just came with it. And I was like, okay, well, I like this. So this is who I am. And I was like, Court, I have an idea. I wrote this pitch, and I think that this would be good if we could do it. It's just an idea. Just if you don't like it, like whatever. I just wrote it, and he didn't say nothing. And I was like, okay, I'm scared, but I still wrote another pitch and came back. I was like, hey, I mean, maybe you didn't like the other one, but check this one out. And he said nothing again. A few weeks, like, no, not even weeks, like a few months go by, and I get a phone call from Court, and he was like, Selena, I really do like everything you wrote in your ideas. And I was wondering, if we made you, for example, executive producer of an episode, what would you do? And I was like, well, that's
Whoa.
all. I was like, well, that's a lot, but give me some time and I'll write all my ideas. And like one day we were just on the phone and I kept like telling him everything that I would do, and he said, okay, then that's exactly what we're gonna do. And I was like, seriously? And he said yes. And after that, they announced me as the first ever female Latina executive producer of a wrestling TV show, and which is like, it's so fucking long. Sorry, can I just
Okay.
okay, sorry, my bad. It's such a long title that I feel like it's ridiculous to even mention, but it's like it really is what happened. So I feel like that's how I ended up where I'm at. Like after I did that thing, I was interviewed by Sports Illustrated, and ever since they did that interview, like I feel like I started getting a lot of attention, and I started seeing like a lot of articles online, and a lot of people started tagging me on stuff, and I kept like my followers kept going up like every single day, and I was like, wow, this is really like getting attention. So that I feel like that's in my journey.
I love it. That's kind of the dream aspect that a lot of wrestlers really want to obtain. And then here you are, and they presented you with an opportunity, and you were just like, you went with it. And that's
Yeah.
kind of like a part of like the wrestler lifestyle is like, even if you don't think you're ready for an opportunity, you say yes anyway, and then you find a way to make yourself ready. And like you said, you find a way to make it work. Yeah, because there's no guarantee that opportunity will come again.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. So I've